Brake! I can do that!
He began this project with optimism, tools, and a vague sense of purpose. Many months later, he has none of those things. The car, once a symbol of passion and craftsmanship, is now a symbol of why he can't have nice weekends. Every morning, he tells himself, today I'll fix the brakes. By evening, he's Googling how to legally abandon a vehicle that is technically yours. The brakes, in theory, are simple. In theory, so is life. But as he stares at a pile of tubing that looks like modern art, he realizes maybe this isn't about the car at all. Maybe it is about bad decisions and the human tendency to double down on them. Still, he persists because hope is a dangerous thing, and so is driving without the brakes.
Okie doke. We're going to be discussing a couple of things that you're going to need to do your DIY brakes. I'm just going to tell you everything I bought and why I bought it. So first with the brake line. This is 3/16 NiCop, which is nickel copper. Supposedly, it has the bendability of copper and the strength of steel. The most common line size is 3/16, so that's what I chose. I thought it was going to be the best replacement. For the fittings, I went through a couple here. The NiCop being 3/16, it's an Imperial. All of my fittings, here's my old brake cylinder, they have all metric fitting sizes. So I couldn't use the 3/8 fittings that came with it. So I went and I bought the correct size for mine. And these are 10 millimeter 1.0 thread pitch fittings that fit on 3/16, which is a little bit of a mismatch. So these fit right on there perfectly. And they fit into my brake cylinder perfectly. So these are the old ones. I'm not going to be using these ones. To bend these brake lines, you're going to need a dedicated 3/16 bender. I watched an awesome video from Superfast Matt, and he said to get this because he said that the ones that had a range to them could, have potential to kink your lines. But he said if you buy a dedicated 3/16, you won't do that. So I bought a dedicated 3/16 bender. So you're going to have to cut off the brake lines here. So this is a dedicated to 3/16. After you cut your brake line, you're going to need to deburr the line. So you're going to need something along the lines of this. I also had a general deburring tool like this one, and it's been good for everything, but the tip is too big to fit inside this tube. I think it would work for a 1/4 inch tube, but it does not work for the 3/16 tube. So this one is going to deburr that. Wheel cylinders. So I do have the originals here, and they are in pretty poor condition. I went in and I took these out. Let's see if I can show you. Everything is just really seized in here. I could buy a kit that fixes all this up, but I think they're a little too far gone. I'll keep these and sell them if somebody wants them, because they have the original tech on there, which is pretty cool. But luckily, 50 years later, they make the exact same one, fit perfectly, and they're not seized up. They move quite easily. Woo! There we go. So they move quite easily. These ones are all seized up. They don't move at all. Then, the big boy, the brake line flaring tool. So there are some cheap flaring tools on the market. And again, this is what I learned from Superfast Matt. But this guy it was much more expensive, but it is much simpler to use and much better built. And I'm going to show you guys how to use this and how I used it, and it's been pretty fun so far. So I'll show you guys how to use that a little later. Now, along with all this, I have my old brake lines that I took off. Some of them I chopped, but some of them I've kept. So we're going to be matching all the same bends, and it should be fairly straightforward. We'll be putting our fittings on and then flaring them afterwards. So it's going to be interesting to learn how to bend and get this exact shape. Yeah, but that's about it. And I think we can get started. Okay, now we need to pick our die. So the set comes with a couple of dies, and you're just gonna match your tubing size. So we got 3/16 right here. So with this 3/16 die, we are going to choose the correct side, and they gotta match up here. So we need to face the inverted flare, which is this side, and we need to face that towards the operating side. So this is going to push into it. Just fit that in there, and then we're going to put our tube in there. I'm going to take my 10 millimeter fitting. We're going to put that on beforehand, because after it's bent, we're not going to be able to get this on. So, like such. And then we're not going to worry about how far it is right now because we're going to set it to operation 0, which is right here. Lock this sucker down. And operation 0 is going to make it flush. So that's in the correct place. So you're gonna have to trust me that it's flush on this side, and I've deburred it beforehand. So we're gonna go now to operation 1, 3/16. That's right there, 3/16 operation 1. And this is all tightened down, and we're just going to press the lever. And that's all the way pressed. And now, supposedly that is a bubble flare. And if we want to have the inverted flare, then we go to 3/16 of operation 2. And it should be done. The inverted flare, and it sits on it just like that. Okay, now this is a bit of a complex shape, but I'm going to try my best to match it. So the start of the bend will be here, and I'm eyeballing it, but it's not quite 90 degrees. So that holds it down right there. I think I want to line that up on the 0, and then I'm just going to bend just before 90 degrees. Something like that, I believe. That's about right. We're gonna continue. Okay, well, starting to bend right there. I'm gonna go down this way. Kind of, there's a couple little twists in there. So the nice thing about this is you can kind of bend it with your hands as you go. But you don't want to bend it too much. That's about it. So you just tighten her down, spin it around a few times, tighten her down again, spin her around, spin her around. There you go. Now we got a little bit of a burr there. Use a deburring tool. That opens it right up. Now before we get to the end and put our double inverted flare there, putting the nut on, and we'll move back here. Let's see. This better work. If I get a bad one. 3/16, tightened. Yeah. Operation 1. Operation 2. What the heck? Oh, a little bit of warpage. I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know. I think it's a bad one. I'm pretty pissed. Oh, I'm redoing this. This is so stupid. Okay, well, that was the most annoying thing in the world, but finally, I got it, and it matches up pretty much for the most part. You know, a little bit of twisting here and there, and it will get done. So I figured it out. I'm going to show you right now. So if you can see there, all of them were getting deformed. And I tried this over and over again. I wasted so much of my lines trying to figure it out, and it kept on getting crimped just like that. And finally, there was this video. I looked through so many videos. Everyone was getting perfect flares the whole time. And this guy, British guy, what was his channel name? His name is Trailer Fitters Toolbox Videos. Had a random Christmas special episode, and he shows this double chin. He's like, he's got this British voice. He's like, "Oi, you don't want a double chin." So he shows you, and he's like, so supposedly so when you're putting in the flare, operation 0 is supposed to make it flush with everything. So you do it, let's say it's out here, and it makes it flush. And it's supposed to work. But he said, if you're getting the double chin, that means it's too long. So I've been setting it back about to there. And it has been working. It has worked both times. So just that millimeter difference has been the difference between too much material and it bending and it being a perfect amount of material. So yeah, no, I'm very happy I figured that out, and hopefully don't have to worry too much about the next many flares. Now that I look at this video, I realize there was really no reason for all these stupid little bends. So the thing went in like this, essentially, or a bunch of dumb twists and turns, really. Okay, and this guy was on a funny angle. I should have just done this my own way. I could have simplified this, and I think I will. I'm learning. So flex line goes there, and then the other line goes back here. Well, it fits. Here's the old one. If I didn't muck it up too much, it fits kind of around like that. And a little bit of a bend in there. Yeah, so it goes there. Yeah, it should work fine. And around it, it's probably a little longer, so I'll go like to here. Give myself some room. That looks perfect. I think I figured it out. Yeah, buddy! This is gonna be an interesting part. I gotta like bend it with my hand a bit. I'm gonna do this. I need like a... not quite. Don't want to kink it. That's about it. We're close. Gotta be close. These blocks are all... please work. Oh yeah. Got it down. I've got it down now. There's gonna be some finessing on this one. We're gonna see. Oh man, it's close. Oh no. Come on. Just a bit. This is a little too close for comfort, but maybe it'll be a problem, maybe it won't. So it's like this close to the shock. We'll see when it's on the ground if it rubs, but for now, that's the back. So now there's a flexible hose that goes from here to this mount over here, and then it connects to a hard line. So I got a male and female end. Brake clip. Let's see if I get that brake clip in. This one's gonna be interesting. Whoop-ah. So all I'm doing, if I go like this, that's where it was back there, and I'm following these brackets in there, not going too tight, and I'm just slowly, now I gotta get in here. I gotta get it through that one, so I gotta kind of push it up and then make my way to the front. I'll get there. So I was looking around and things weren't making sense. And then I looked at the old video and it looks like this piece right here attached to my fuel pump also has some brake line tees in here. So I don't exactly know where it goes. It maybe goes into this and then, I don't know. This is gonna have to get cleaned up though. Totally missed this part. So I cleaned these two up. Gave them a little coat. So that's probably it. Okay, we're just gonna play a game of where do things fit. I said driver, so that should be driver's side. Now, what's it going to? I don't know. It looks like it fits about to there. This long, like I got this guy, it's huge. This has gotta be, how am I think I can just slide it back here. Like I want to remake all these, but you know, if they're good, they're good. It's really the back ones that were really bad. Oh yeah, this is exactly it. So this one I put saying passenger, and I can see that one side is quite corroded and the other side is clean, so I'm guessing it's going this side through here. And that goes right, exactly right there. That's perfect. And this side goes right in that one, right there. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna recreate this one because it is a little bit corroded, but I'll keep it here for now just so that I get everything laid out. This one, same deal, says driver. It's corroded on this side, so probably through here. And it goes right there. That must be this one. Really simple, says master brake, so I'm guessing from there, let's see if yeah. From there to the master brake, that's gotta be it. Clean these are little bumpers for the brakes. Okay, cleaner. Through there. I'm gonna go here, and this guy should. Perfect. I have my female to female. It's all very tight fit for everything, man. In place. So it's there. Yeah. This makes sense. And then these must go through these over top of this. Keep going. There we go. I think it's there. It's just not really flailing out to stop itself. I always find it amazing that 50 years later, you can still get a brand new part for this. I'm going to do my best to show how this thing is going together. It's this way, and okay, so I put everything together and I realized I basically did it all wrong. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of putting all of this together, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it correctly, at least from what I understand now. So we're going to start with the beginning of putting these e-brake and adjuster lever onto the drum brake shoe. So let's start with that. Okay, so something that I didn't understand before was that actually these brake shoes are different sizes. So you're going to notice here on the shoes, one is smaller than the other, and that's on both sides. So the longer one is going to be your back shoe and the smaller one's going to be your front shoe. So oriented that way, you will be taking off, well, at least in my case for this car, taking off this piece, and this is the where the e-brake attaches as well as the self-adjuster is located. So that's going to be reattached onto the back shoe, and that's going to be the same for the other side. This is on my driver's side and this is on my passenger side. So to get this one in, it's as simple as that's through, and then we have, and all you do is take one of these horseshoe clips and a little bit close that up. She's locked in, she's not coming out like that. This one's a little nicer, just like so. Okay, after absolutely struggling with this on the other side, I did figure it out, and we'll get this side done here. There is a process. First, e-brake, which is very difficult to do alone. This will involve the legs, folding that, because I gotta like pull on the e-brake here pretty hard. Pull back. Got it. Okay, so now I got the brake adjuster here. It's got a couple of moving parts. You have to put some anti-seize in there, and I also already lubricated up the threads. So the easiest thing I found is to put this on first. So now it's locked in. Now I think it's easiest to put the spring on. Just attach it here first. And then easy peasy. There we go. Now this is locked in place too. So that's all kind of one unit, which is great. So now we're gonna take some anti-seize. We're gonna put it on these contact points all around, just a little bit. And this is gonna prevent squeaking, supposedly. And I've already got my hold down pins here. And they're gonna go through the back, and we're gonna line it up. So this is where I usually have a ton of issues. There we go. There we go, got it. This spring, and the orientation I saw before was the small one was in the back. So it's hooking up right in here, and the other one's gonna go right up in there. So I'm going to use a tool. I picked up one of these brake spring tools. Make my life a little easier. Got it. And that one goes here. There we go. And these are pretty much centered. So I think I got everything. Cylinder, one spring, two spring. We got another spring that's holding on to here. This is all working nice. This is attached to the adjuster. Now a nice new drum. There we go. Okay, so all the brakes are on and brake lines are on, but now I just need to go around and tighten everything up, and then we can do a brake bleeding test. So right now I have speed bleeders on all the brakes, so I should be able to do this by myself, but I've never done it before, so I'll watch some videos and we'll see how it goes. But first I'm going to tighten every single one. All right, I'm going to start farthest away from the brake master cylinder. So I just cracked it a hair. So I've got a bottle full of brake fluid here, cleaned it all out, and this is gonna stop it from hopefully coming back out. Is this long enough? And now I'm gonna hit the brakes and make sure that the reservoirs are full, and then that this is also not letting air back in. There we go, I think it's been working here. That is working. Okay. We'll just do kind of the whole system, see if everything's not leaking, and do the front. So I've kind of messed up the front. So here you can see, I put fluid into both caps, which I shouldn't have. You know, I should have done the back and then the front, I just wasn't thinking. So there's some leaks here, but I'll check it out, it'll be fine. I got an issue every time I hit the brakes. It's leaking out here. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because my caliper's been pushed out because I don't have anything there. I think another nice thing. I put it together. Oh yeah. At least it wasn't my brake lines leaking. Well, this was unforeseen, but look at that right there. So because this came out so far, I believe because I didn't have the pads in, it just kept going, the brake fluid kept pushing it out, and then it got snagged, and then it tore which is so unfortunate. So now I'm gonna have to order another boot, and I'm gonna have to redo this. I'll have to take them apart. Easy enough to take apart now that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I can't bleed the front brakes. The back brakes are doing fine.
It's not gonna be good. You got it.
I'm gonna get that to do.
Get the video, you do your video, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wash my. Can also start putting the front together.
Why do I have so many left? Freaking worked up like that. Oh man. Oh, it's stressful. Thank God. Okay, so right now it doesn't. Like it will go into first and second, but it will not go into third, fourth, or fifth. I'm just gonna assume that once the car gets moving, that it will be fine. I don't know. So I think I'll just clean up and put the console on. Kind of like that.
He sits in the car, the brakes aren't done, 10 new problems have appeared. He takes a deep breath, accepting his fate like a man who's chosen this life, for reasons still unclear. The car cannot stop, but he can't either.